Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. I had a special request for stalking cases. Ms. Brown, here are two just for you. And ladies, if you think you have a stalker, my tips are: 1, always be aware of your surroundings. 2, carry weapons. If you're not comfortable with guns, have pepper spray. And 3, don't try and punch them. Kick them where it counts. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
All right, Mr. Salento, why don't you come on up to a table there? And Ms. Morgan, you're on Zoom. There you are. All right, so this is case number 24268, and the court's issued a temporary restraining order against you, Mr. Salento, on behalf of Ms. Morgan. And it looks like you got all that just on the 12th. Actually, I'm just looking in here what we, who was that? Sherry Gordon gave you, looks like, the temporary protection order and the notice of today's hearing. Did you also get the petition that was filed? All the information?
Yeah, all the documents in the yellow
Okay,
file.
all right, so that was the 12th, so last week.
Yes.
And let me put you both under oath so we can get started. So I'll stand up with you, Mr. Salento, since I've got you raising your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, have a seat. And Ms. Morgan, just stay seated so I can see you. Raise your right hand with me and unmute. You're gonna have to unmute.
Okay.
Oh, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so, Ms. Morgan, are you still asking for this order against Mr. Salento?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Salento, do you object to the court issuing this order?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna hear from Ms. Morgan,
Okay.
and as we kind of watched before, and then I'm gonna turn to you and hear
Yes.
from you. And the decision here is should or shouldn't an order issue after today?
Yes.
So, and I'm looking from screen to screen because I've got my electronic file here and I need to do that. I am listening.
Okay.
I just need to look at everything. Now, Mr. Salento, you did not file anything recently that I need to look at?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I'm not missing anything from you. All right, let me just refamiliarize myself with what I looked at the other day. All right, so Ms. Morgan, what would you like to say, focus in on?
I guess I pretty much submitted everything really. I just feel, like uncomfortable, and I'm worried, and I have children. I want to make sure I'm protecting.
Okay, so you're worried and uncomfortable. What are you worried about?
Going to work. I never know. I mean, he got told by my job that he can't come back anymore, and I don't know if he has or not since then because I've been taking some time off. But I went to Safeway the other day, not knowing he worked there. And then it's like half a mile, if that, from my current job. So I went there for my lunch and I was followed back to work. And I had to go into like another parking lot and wait for him.
Let me back you up a little bit so I understand. What are you worried about?
I just feel like I'm being followed and stalked basically. And I'm getting the weird texts. I'm just worried for my safety.
Okay, and is there something in the past other than this? I mean, you've been acquaintances for a long time, it looks like. Anything else that would make you think that he's going to harm you or your children or your property? Or
I mean, the text he sent about children who lose their moms at a young age makes me, scared. I know that.
How did you take that text? What did you think that meant for you?
I kind of took it as like a threat.
Okay, a threat to maybe do what?
Maybe to hurt me or,
Okay.
Just the idea of me, of bringing up my kids and saying, or bringing up children and saying motherless kids or kids who lose their mom at a young age, specifically sons, which is what I have.
Right. And then, so, as to your children, you said you're worried about them. You need to protect your children. How old are your kids?
7 and 5.
Okay. And you're worried about what there?
Just the potential of anything, happening to me or happening to them at all.
All right.
And then
And
also,
so-
sorry,
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Even at my old job, like 2 or 3 years ago, he would come through there and it was just a drive-through coffee stand. So I didn't think, much of it then. But then all my coworkers there were like, no, he only comes if you're here. And then the fact that he somehow found the doctor's office that I work at. And yeah, it's just very unsettling. And it's
Can I ask
a lot of stress.
where you work now? Is it, obviously you have to come in a building? Are you in a front desk? Are you in the back? How does that configure?
So
Where are you?
I'm in the back and I'm in the back. So my coworkers are the ones who really see him coming in.
So folks who are coming to the doctor's office, they're probably either making an appointment, coming for an appointment. Is there any other service or something that someone off the street would just come in, and it would be sensible that they just come off the street into that office?
But no. And
So you
he's
have- Or you're
not a
making one? There's not any products that are being sold outside of having an appointment or anything of that nature.
no.
So you either have an appointment or you're making one. Would that be fair to say? Okay.
Yeah.
And so remind me what brought you into court? What was it that finally had you file?
So
August
for a
6th.
while it was more like, I guess, spaced out the times that he would come into my job. And then I would say a couple weeks before I filed, I was getting like a text almost every day. He had showed up to my job like 3 times within 1 week. And then when I was being followed back to work, that's what really set it in stone for me. I was like, okay, I feel like I need to protect myself at this point. And it's making my coworkers uncomfortable too.
So that was when you went to the Safeway unknowingly that Mr. Slunto worked there to get your lunch, and then you saw him. He saw what happened at the Safeway?
So I didn't notice until I was going back to my job. I was like turning around the roundabout to go out as he was entering the roundabout. And then I went faster to go into another parking lot and saw him turn into ours. And then it was after that I had the thought, maybe he works at that Safeway. And then my coworker was able to verify that he did.
So you went into the Safeway, but when did you see him first?
I didn't even see him at Safeway. I didn't notice he was there. I saw him on the drive back.
All right. And like you looked at each other or what? From each are you in your own car and you're passing each other on the road?
Yeah. I looked like just casually over, not expecting to see anybody or him. And then when I looked at his car, it was like he was staring straight at my car and at me.
In a roundabout. And then thereafter, you said that he followed you back to your job. So tell me more about what happened.
So I was basically there's a parking lot behind the one I originally park in. So I could see that he had pulled into our parking lot, the normal one. And I had to sit in my car, and the doctor that I work for had to come and grab me so we could walk in the back way. And then by the time we got back, they checked the parking lot and his car wasn't there anymore.
Okay. All right. And throughout this, so you said 3 times at work you got phone calls. Did you get any other or texts every day to you personally?
Yes.
And that was around when? This summer? You
Yeah.
filed
I would
beginning
say
of August.
end of July or mid July to beginning of August.
All right. And then what were those texts about?
Is it okay if I pull them up really quick?
Yes.
Sorry, I just didn't know if it would end the video or
So you
not.
put them all in your petition. Are these the ones you're talking about in your petition,
Yeah.
or they're
Yeah.
so you're the one that got away and hope to see in the next life, and then the ones that concern you, children who lose their mothers at a very young age become the best womanizers, as well as multiple texts where he's quote unquote admitting to harassing me and bugging me and calling himself crazy. So all of those, there aren't any others, but those are the ones you include in your petition. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
All
I
right.
don't
That was-
I don't know if I included the one. He sent another one, which all the texts were before he was served. He hasn't contacted me since that. But he sent one. He loves Jesus, so go to the father of your children and make sure you give your kid a dad.
Okay. And then you said 3 times a week you've gotten a phone call at work, or
No, he just walks into the job.
okay, comes into the job, and then so you haven't had contact with him because your staff or the people at the front have dealt with all that
Hmm.
and sent him away.
Yes.
And in all this texting, at any time, did you say, stop, knock it off, don't text me, don't call me, anything like that?
I didn't. And when I originally called the non-emergency number to make the complaint, the cop I spoke to told me since I hadn't replied yet, it would probably be a good idea to just not. I didn't really want to give the idea that I was getting the texts, if that makes sense.
Because don't encourage anything more is probably what you were advised.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so what you want is Mr. Salento not to contact you in any way
Hmm.
and to stay away from your children.
Yeah.
Now, before all this started happening, like you said in here, I think you've known each other since middle school, was it?
High school. Yeah. I was friends with his little sister for a while.
Okay, so you knew this. All right. So was there a period of time since high school that you just never heard anything and then it starts coming up, or has there been constant?
Yeah. I mean, up until recently, the past month, it's been very spaced out. I could go, months without hearing him. And that's also part of my concern is I just feel like out of nowhere, the contact is like escalating to a point that it never has before.
So you've been out of high school 10 plus years?
Hmm.
That's it. That's a yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so in that 10 plus years, how often do you think you heard from Mr. Salento in a way that either you wanted to or didn't want to?
Probably like 5 or 6 times, I would say, until this.
Maybe once every other year on average, and then this really piped up. Okay. You have a better understanding. Is there anything else you want to say or tell me or let me look at before I turn to Mr. Salento?
No, I think that is all.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Salento, I'd like to hear from you if there's anything my decision here is, does this issue order after today or not? Is there
Okay.
anything you want to say?
honestly, this decision is actually up to Lizzie. If she really does want this to be happening, then yes, I have no problem with that. The only thing is the few things that text message. How did I get a number? That's the one thing I'm questioning. If she didn't want me to text you, then why did you give me your number? And if so,
So when did that happen? How long ago do you
2 years
think?
ago.
Okay, 2 years ago, you had some contact
Yeah.
and,
And then originally, the reason why I kept texting, I never got a response from Lizzie. Did not know it was her. I thought she gave me the wrong number. I never got a response from her. Never got a
Okay.
name. I even asked you, looked at the text, hey, John, this is Lizzie. And never got a response.
all right,
That was the wrong number. So I was messing with the person. Didn't know it's actually Lizzie. So yeah, that's why the text was that way. 'Cause didn't think it was another Lizzie. Thought it was some random stranger just messing with things, one of her friends,
okay.
texting, So, and she
Has
did.
that happened before that with Ms.
Other number?
Morgan?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
with Ms. Morgan in particular, that
What do you
one
mean?
of her friends was messing with you,
No.
impersonating her.
Well, no, I don't really know her friends. I don't really know.
Okay.
But the number, I didn't know it's her number or not. Because I don't
All right.
know. So that's it. But honestly, like I said, if she wants this, you give her peace of mind, set it.
Okay.
It's okay with me. And then
All
stay
right.
away, blah, 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 and all that
Okay.
thing. Some peace of mind, her children's peace of mind, blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
And we can all move on.
all right. So
Up to
showing
you.
it at the workplace
No, yeah.
repeatedly.
Well, I guess I can't have that coffee place anymore, but yeah, sure. We need to set the
Okay.
coffee or that bar. That's a good bar, by the way.
She's at a doctor's office. I'm hearing that you're showing up at, coming in. and-
Yeah, that's the thing is I was trying to get insurance to get a doctor's because I know that particular hospital doctor, you have to have insurance.
Mhm.
So originally I was actually starting to see if I can get a doctor, my own personal doctor. So I was asking about insurance from Safeway. Do you guys accept? That's originally how it started.
Okay,
Going there, wondering if I can go to a doctor's office. So,
all right.
but I won't go in there, and I guess they don't even accept patients anyway. So there's no reason for me to go there.
So 3 times a week for,
Yeah, well, it's the inside story is that one. Well, 3 times a week. The first time they told me, hey, we'll check in on October. And they said that opening in October. So I came the second time because I forgot to write down the website. So then after that, the third time they told me to go away. But then I just,
Okay.
because that third time, I thought, okay, I just want to make sure you guys aren't accepting patients and they won't accept patients. So.
and so you're still do you work at that?
I still work at
Safeway?
Safeway.
Okay, so then, all right. Right, well, Mr. Salento, Ms. Morgan, I will be issuing this order after today. It'll
Okay.
continue. Ms. Morgan now knows that you work at that Safeway, so she'll still steer clear of that, so she doesn't put herself in any kind of peril, because you're asking for this order, want to protect yourself and don't go to places that Mr. Salento is. And then Mr. Salento, what this means is you stay
Yeah,
away
away
from
from
her.
everything,
So
yeah,
don't contact
No.
her in any way,
Oh,
not
yeah.
through family, not through
Yeah,
friends, not
and,
through
yeah.
social media,
Yeah.
not through kids, stay away from her work that you
Oh, yeah.
now know where she is working. And all right, I'm gonna write this out. This is gonna be in effect for until August 19th of next year.
Okay.
Ms. Morgan, you have the opportunity, if you feel so inclined, within 3 months of it expiring, so sometime after May 19th of 2025, if you feel you want this order to last longer, then we would need to have another hearing, give Mr. Salento an opportunity to be present and speak to that. But if not, this will just expire on the 19th of August in 2025. And let me just write this up. I'm gonna give you a copy, or it'll be in the court file and you can access it
I'll
that
get
way.
it today.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me get this done then. And then I'll turn back to both of you, see if there are any questions, but just give me a moment here. And this will look just like the temporary order that was issued. Okay. So, Ms. Morgan, any questions?
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
All right, so you can be on your way. This order will be in the court file by this afternoon, and there doesn't need to be any service. We're gonna hand a copy to Mr. Salento today. That's all.
Okay.
See you, Ms. Morgan. And just give us a moment, Mr. Salento, and we can hand this to you. Stay right there. You're fine. All seated. Why don't you stand up and I'll put you both under oath. Ms. Warren. So we're here on case 24-212, and I'm looking back and forth here because I have two screens and my file's electronic. So just so you know what I'm doing, I am listening. I just have to look at things this way. So just give me a moment to get everything going. All right, so Ms. Warren, then you're still asking for this order? Okay, and Mr. Joseph, you're objecting this order?
So yes.
It's up to you.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we'll go forward today. And first off, Ms. Warren, you're prepared to go forward today? All right, Mr. Joseph, you're prepared to go forward? Yes, okay, I need people to answer out loud because we're recording. So, all right, so you were served August 5th, more than enough time to prepare. What we're working off of is, of course, this petition, and let me just re-review. I've read a lot of things in the meantime, but I think I have know where I am on this. All right. Just re-familiarizing myself with the allegations. And Mr. Joseph, you haven't filed anything in response to this. We're just going to hear from you directly.
Yes, I haven't filed anything because this is my first time ever dealing with this kind of a situation.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You don't have to file anything. I just want to be sure that I'm not missing anything. All right. So I'm going to start over here with Ms. Warren, ask her if there's anything more or something I should focus in on or anything more she wants to say about this. And then I'll turn to you and hear from you, and I make a decision whether this temporary restraining order or protection order that we issued continues after today or not. And so, Ms. Warren, what would you like to add or say or focus in on? Or
when the additional videos that I had submitted from July 16th, he had come over again to my house after the sheriff's office had called him, letting him know that they were going to serve paperwork. He came and he wouldn't leave. Admitted twice on the video, to the damage he had caused to my vehicle, my property. And I'm just really tired and want this to stop.
so we signed this temporary order July 1st, and then I think we reissued when we were unsuccessful getting service to Mr. Joseph to let him know that this is going on. And then July 16th, were you there for those discussions or overheard?
I was there. It was, I had just come out of my house to lock up my gate that I had recently installed to park my car in my carport. And I saw what looked like his vehicle at the entrance of my house. And then the vehicle had pulled out. So I, went about my business and I was opening the gate, and then he pulled up. And then 3 nights after that, one of the 12 security cameras that I recently installed shows him driving by as a passenger.
So after the 1st, you mean 3 nights after the 1st of July?
3 nights after the 16th.
After the 16th, so the 16th and July 19th. Okay. And so again, what did you see on July 19th then?
He drove by my house at 3 in the morning as a passenger in another vehicle.
Okay, and how did you know it was Mr. Joseph?
You see on my security camera, you can see his head look out the window as they're driving by very slow.
So you recognize Mr. Joseph? And I need to answer out loud.
Yes.
Okay. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So drove by on this, what street is that again? And so this is July 19th, about 18 days after served, or no, 3 days after he was served. Is that what you're correct? Okay. I have an affidavit from law enforcement. They served him on August 5th, not in July. So can you explain what happened on the 16th?
So the first order was issued. So there was 3 orders that were reissued. The sheriff's office had contacted him. I'm not sure if it was on the 16th or on the 15th, notifying him that they had an order to serve and then asking him when he would be home. Which prompted him to come over to work things out. And that's when I called Lacey PD.
Okay, so he came over on the 16th, but you had notification from the officers, maybe by phone, is what you heard through the officers, but didn't have I can't say that he had knowledge of the provisions of the order yet.
He hadn't been served yet. And then Lacey PD, I had a copy of the order of the service packet, and they said that they weren't able to serve him. Sergeant Parker, I spoke with him. He's the training supervisor. He said that that was an administrative error and there were new officers and that they should have served him that day. And he was at my house.
Right, but August 5th, this court issued another reissuance and then it was finally served. Okay, so. Let's see. All right, and then so this goes back to what you've relayed in your information. Way back to December, when you first met, December of 2023. Okay, and then, all right, then you detail March and April events and into June. And then the assertion in June, which apparently is that what caused you to finally come into court. Okay, that your vehicle tires, or was it your gas tank?
It
You had a
was
flat
both
tire.
that time.
Okay,
I had come out, so I work from home. I had 10 people in town for a work retreat, and I had one person staying at my house. We had come out the next morning to leave for this work retreat. My tire was flat, her tire was flat, and then there's another vehicle. So if you're looking at my house, in the very front of my house, there's gravel where I was parked. My driveway is on the right. On the left is a walkway to my front door where there is a camera up there that didn't work at the time. And then the other vehicle that had a slashed tire was directly to the left of the walkway. So my car and this other car that wasn't at my house were 15 feet apart or something. But he never crossed the walkway of my driveway. That's the videos I submitted or my neighbor's cameras. There's another video that was submitted that shows him walking all the way around the neighborhood. And then another video showing him slash the tire on that yellow car and then going back around instead of just walking from my car to that car that we're so close. So that, and then it was like 2.5 hours later. You can't see him in this video, but you can see somebody near my gas tank with a flashlight for an extended period. And that I had to have cleaned out and couldn't start it. Not knowing if there was something in there, but the gas tank was open.
so you took it in somewhere,
A Goodyear Auto.
okay, and was anything discovered in there?
So I had to replace all 4 tires because you can't just replace one on an all-wheel drive vehicle. This is the 3rd set of tires I've had this year. The friend of mine in my driveway also had to replace all 4 tires. And then my gas tank, officers said, well, if it was open and the cap was loose, it's likely something was in there. But the auto shop said that gasoline eats everything so quickly, they wouldn't be able to tell if there was something in there or not. But that if I would have started my vehicle with something in it, it would have destroyed my engine.
So you had it towed,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Let's see, before I turn to Mr. Joseph, anything else?
Just that this has affected my entire life and my family. I'm a gun owner for the first time in my life, which feels crazy. And I've spent thousands of dollars on security measures and enclosing my carport so I can safely park my vehicle. My boys, who are 16, sleep with hunting knives on every surface in their bedroom and take shifts staying up at night because they want to protect their mom. And I don't go anywhere alone. My friend in the back is a domestic violence and MMIP advocate that, assured me how to stay safe. And it's just been terrorizing for months. Don't leave my house, don't go anywhere alone. My IT guy is tracking my location. And it's really scary.
Right? And as far back as, let's see if I can see here. You're asserting that as far back, at least April, you said, stop messaging me. Prior to that, saying sort of needed space, not interested in dating in March. Is that about right? Okay, finally by April. All right, we are now. All right, so Mr. Joseph, hear from you on your response to this request for this order. That's why I asked first off, if you objected to this. And so now's your opportunity to kind of respond to this petition and the information filed, and if there's anything I should know about, I presume, not to issue this order.
Most of the story, I'll say, is true to some degree, but I don't believe that it is all true.
All right. Tell me what you think. I won't know unless you tell me.
Well, we met in December, and I thought we had a good thing going. I did do something that was wrong. I did lie to her about my situation, but it was ultimately true. It's just that it's the details that someone didn't want to see or hear. And so she did say, "Hey, Jesse, stop. I want to take a break." And I took a week off to, kind of let things cool down. And then so I reached out, just to see.
About when that was? When you took a break?
It was a week. So I thought it was April.
Okay.
So I took a week to stop calling, and let her get her situation in order. And the thing is that I cared about Erica, and I cared about her kids. And so when she told me her story, I understood her story. She told me one of her boys had OD'd or had overdosed or something. And so I really took care, to her situation. And so when she said she wanted a break, I got it because of my situation and because of her kids. And so I was like, I'm gonna back off. But then she just kind of like, I don't know, she just kind of just cut me off and didn't talk to me or anything. And I was like, well, what's going on? Like, this is, I don't understand. I get you're upset at me, but I'm still concerned about your kids and just you and your well-being. And so it kind of put me in a situation to where I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, I'm kind of lost in the dark, and then I feel like I've been betrayed in some sense. And so I was upset, don't get me wrong, but I'm not doing anything to anybody's gas tank for sure. That's not something I'm doing. I did slash the tires, but the reason for that is because I feel like she lied to me just like I lied to her about her relationship. And so it kind of worked out that way. I actually didn't get the call from the officer until August 4th. And he actually served me that morning on the 5th. And so that's kind of that. But I'm not here for malicious. I wish you just talk to me like a civil person, like just sit down and talk to me and see if we can work things out. But clearly it was over her head, or she's not capable of doing it. I don't know. But that's what happened. And I do apologize for the things that I did. I did slash the tires because I was jealous because her partner, or whoever this person is, that spent the night, I just felt like, why even take the time to reach out to me? Because I didn't initiate the whole dating thing. I kind of was sitting there chilling by myself, and you came to me. So it is what it is. I'm here to just kind of make peace, move on with my life. Things have changed, so I'm just trying to finish this up. If we gotta make peace, and she want to give me an order, then give me an order. But I'm not here to be aggressive to her kids or her. Maybe her vehicle, yes, but I'm not here for that. I work at a children's hospital. I have 2 kids of my own. I'm not here for all that. Like, that's not. I just want to communicate with the person that I thought I actually enjoyed their time with and spend time with them. And that's what I'm here for. And then I just wanted to communicate with her that she did not want to communicate with me. And it leads you to a bunch of chaos in your own mind. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. And I'm here to move forward. So like I said, yes, I'm gonna deny the order, but if you extend it for however long the person.
So April, you thought we're taking a break. I'll get a hold of you in about a week. And then after that, you felt like you were cut off. Did you have any other conversations, texts, phone calls, anything after that?
I
break?
text her. I kind of give her my text, like it's like, hey, how are you doing? You know, and then just to show like that I actually care. So I would send her songs or something of that nature. But nothing where I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm gonna hurt your kids, none of that. That's not what I was sending.
Okay. So then, all right, so I think there's an agreement there that there was things left, and then June 25th, didn't do anything to the gas tank, but you were jealous and you did slash the tire. And then what about the allegations of coming by 3 o'clock in the morning, July 19th,
This person,
someone else driving, you being a passenger?
no, I don't recall that. I usually pretty straightforward doing something.
That would have been a Friday.
Other person.
Or maybe a Saturday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not sure. All right, so that you don't,
No,
recollection
yeah,
or
I'm
it didn't
not.
happen?
I don't know. Solo, I'm usually a solo person. I don't.
Okay. Just re-reviewing information here. If I have any other questions from anybody. I need the file there. Stuff.
And I wish also because her son did contact me, and we had a conversation. And
You know when that happened?
I'm gonna say it happened sometime between. Can I use my phone for work? July 21st.
So he texted or called or,
Yeah, at 2 a.m.
all right. And did you respond or?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right, so since that time, have you been having contact independently from the 16-year-old?
No, that was just the one time. He was curious kind of what was going on, and I was also curious about what was going on, and so we kind of just talked a little bit, but
Okay. All right. All right, so Mr. Joseph, Ms. Warren, I am going to continue this order. It's going to be for a year, and it means, Mr. Joseph, that you don't contact Ms. Warren or the kids. Now, Ms. Warren, you're going to have to talk to your sons. They're old enough to kind of text people and call people and go see people. You're going to have to talk to your sons about this order, that it includes them and that you're the one who says who they have contact with. And you have to make sure they understand that don't put, if whatever their feelings are as to Mr. Joseph, don't put him in peril by contacting him. Mr. Joseph, if you get further texts, phones, they drop in whatever from the kids, you got to take yourself away from that. And so I count on you, Ms. Warren, to kind of police your kids.
I
So,
did. I tried to keep his last name secret for months and months and months, and they saw the order, the third order, and
Well, they're pretty, they're 16-year-olds.
right.
Yeah, so scoop them. All right, so Mr. Joseph, then I'll write up this order. It's not going to change from what the temporary order was. Let me pay attention to this, and then I'm going to turn back to both of you and kind of explain things. And you'll all have a copy of this.
Can the order be for longer than 1 year?
At this stage, I'm going to issue it for a year. There is the possibility, if you feel you need it to go longer, you can apply to the court within 3 months of it expiring. So this is August 19th. So starting third week in May, you can ask the court to reconsider. And then kind of the burden shifts there to Mr. Joseph to prove that there isn't going to be any other unlawful harassment. And then the court would have a hearing to determine if the order should go forward farther. And you would be notified, Mr. Joseph, and we'd be back here again. Let me pay attention to this real quick, and I can answer questions as we go. Yes. So this mirrors, Mr. Joseph, you just stay away from the kids, stay away from Ms. Warren, don't in any way, in person, through family or friends, social media, in any way. Stay 1,000 feet away from wherever she lives. And so now we know that going a different way to get across town. And this will expire August 19 of 2025, unless Ms. Warren asks the court for further hearing to discuss that, and then you'd be given notice and we'd hear some more from you as well, in the same way that we're doing it here. All right, so I'm going to have my clerk make copies. There'll be one in the court file as well. So if you wanted to wait for a copy, you can, or you can be on your way and access it from the court file. Ms. Warren, would you like to wait or not?
I can wait until it's
Okay.
sent or whatever it is. And I'm just wondering, can I get a transcript from today or something for the civil case for the damages?
You can contact the court after today and get that. Mr. Joseph, do you want to wait for the order or just, okay, we'll get that done here pretty quickly. We need like Elizabeth or somebody else to take care of it for you.
What was that?
Elizabeth or somebody else take care of it for you and we can move on.
Try it one more time.
Okay.
We'll see what.
And otherwise maybe make another arrangement so we can keep moving.